this very quick part as to how to create this cliff edge. Let's call it like a cliff edge, sort of like a wave. And what I did here is I wanted to separate the boreal forest part of the zoo, which is like sort of like, you know, like a foresty protected area, from the vast, cold, icy lands of the tundra. So what I did is, first of all, I painted the landscape. One side with snow. You see, it's very different from the other side, which is, of course, the boreal forest. I painted them, and what I've done is I created a very... Let's actually redo that part. So let's just create like a mock-up. This side and this side are actually the same level, okay? Very important. You don't need to have this side a lower level, even though it would help to have the boreal forest at a lower level, so it's, you know, a warmer territory than very high up the tundra. But anyways, they're the same level. You separate them with a ridge. It doesn't even have to be that thick. And the snowy side you are going to want to smooth out. You see, so it looks kind of like a dune, like a sand dune, but it's like a snowy dune. Just this side. The other side we want to have a cliff, so it has this sort of like drop-off idea or part. But it doesn't look much like a cliff, and the reason why it looks much better here is because we use the hill tool. You can also use the valley tool, but I prefer the hill one because it's like a very small hill already. We don't want to make it lower. So we make little like waves, because in real life, if you look at a cliff, it's never the same. It's never horizontal like that. Let's pause the game. It's very uneven, like a wave, sort of, you know, like time took a toll on it. And I also like to use a little bit of a smoothing there, here and there, so it's not that rugged. And already we have a very, very cool looking hill. Let me just... you don't have to do this. Where is it? Yeah. You can, as you can see in Zoo Tycoon, when you use a different tool, it's gonna have a different looking cliff. So it's gray. The tundra one is gray, and the boreal forest one is brown. It's up to you which one you use. I'm just gonna use the gray one. I'm gonna paint the cliff gray. And then down here you can have, you know, whatever boreal. I'm gonna remove this anyways, it's just a test for you guys. And the last step that I like to use to make it even more realistic is, in real life you're never gonna have horizontal, completely smooth terrain either. So I like to create a little cliff, a little like valley at the very bottom of the cliff. Let's make it a little bit smoother. You know, so it's not entirely samey. This actually looks like, in real life, the way cliffs and mountains are done, the way real mountains are created in real life, is because the tectonic plates are moving around. One of the signs of the tectonic plates moving around is actually earthquakes. So when two different plates, let's say this is a plate and this is a plate, move together here, they create a sort of cliff, you know. Like two pieces of paper, when you mush them together in real life, they create a little ridge. And not only a little ridge, but there's also like a little valley. It's not very even, you know, it's very rugged. And this is this is the sort of effect I was going for here. Let's also smoothen this out a bit. So hopefully with this tip you can create some nice ridges. I actually really like this. And even though this boreal forest part doesn't make sense here, another tundra part might make sense. So it looks like a wave, you know. You can use this underwater. So the first time I ever used this was in my shark tank, my reef tank. But you can also use it in the desert. It looks like a very nice sand dune. You can even just like smoothen it out and then use it as like a sand dune. But there you go.